Hi everyone. When the bond between a mom and her adult child is strained or broken, that can lead to a profound sense of hopelessness. Is that you? I want you to know that there's more to this story than just despair that you're feeling right now. So today's video, we're going to talk about that. We're going to unravel some complex emotions. We're going to explore some reasons behind estrangement, but mostly discover the pathways to healing and hope for you, the mom. So if you've ever felt lost in this wilderness of estrangement, because this is not a place we ever thought we would be, right? I want you to stay tuned to this video. My name is Sally Harris, and I'm a mom who walked this same difficult road with my own daughter for over a decade. And when her life spiraled, so did mine. And so let's talk and dive into this today, because I know that it's really hard to discuss this estrangement situation with family and friends sometimes, right? I want you to know that this is a safe place. Obviously, you're watching this video, but I want you to know that you do not need to feel ashamed, okay? Because estrangement as a whole, first of all, it is in this context of parent-adult-child relationship, it is a significant emotional and or physical distance between you and your grown children, right? Most of the time it's accompanied by breakdown in communication, either lessened communication or maybe not at all. Some of you are dealing with that. But the impact on you as a mom, you need to take a look at the emotional toll and what that is doing to you, because it's very common. In fact, I would say 100% of you are dealing with grief, and you may not even know that's what it is. I know when I was going through this, I had someone tell me that I was grieving. And at that point in my life, I thought grief is only when someone actually passes away. But no, it's not. It's grieving someone who's alive, which sometimes is even more difficult, right? But the sadness and maybe guilt, maybe you're hanging on to some longing guilt that you feel about something, but loneliness as a whole, you are likely experiencing. And trust me, I know what all of those feel like. I went through them myself. And so I'm here to help you. I want you to know that feelings of hopelessness is not uncommon, but I want you to know that it's because you love. You're feeling this way because your love for your child is so profound. And when that love with your child is not reciprocated or maybe even rejected, that's where it leads to that powerlessness and despair and hopelessness. And that's why you get those emotions and those feelings. But I want you to remember, we can't live by feelings. We have to live by faith. We have to have hope, and we have to have faith that things are going to turn around. In the meantime, we have to focus on ourselves. And so when you start to feel that hopelessness, some moms feel it immediately, and some it takes a while through this estrangement process. That is your cue to join a community. It really is. Whether it's my community or another, you need to get in community with other moms who are going through similar situations, not someone who just is throwing advice at you that maybe they haven't lived this situation. You need to find somebody who has lived it and come out the other side, because it is like none other. And unless you've gone through it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So down below, you can click the link for a discovery call. If you and I have never chatted before, or if you're interested in learning more about my group coaching program, you do need a community. You definitely need to have a place, a safe place where you are not going to feel judged, and that you can talk about the situation and you can grow as a mom and as a woman. And that is what that is for. So that's the discovery call link below in the show notes. So I want to touch today also on the stigma of estrangement. We've talked about this a little bit here and there, but I think it's really interesting how so many times society, right? The stigma of what a family should look like. Those of you that are facing this estrangement, you're encountering some of this. You're encountering the judgment, like I just mentioned. You're encountering these things sometimes from the people that you love the most, and some are from complete strangers who really, it's none of their business, right? But it still hurts. And so you might still be in that place. So I want you to know that stigma is out there. And I'm sure you're probably feeling it. It's an external pressure, society's expectations, and that can exacerbate the feelings of hopelessness because you're not living up to or matching up to society's view of what the family should be, or this perfect, trying to be like the Joneses kind of thing, because that is not reality. Another topic I want to touch on is coping strategies. I talk a lot about coping strategies. I talk a lot about self-care, but you do need a support network. You need to focus on your self-care and find ways to maintain yourself, your own well-being. And that locating a group, maybe you're seeing a therapist, whatever the case may be. But even if you are seeing a therapist, I do think you need a group. You need a group of other moms that can be there for you 7 days a week, really. So things happen. Things happen when we least expect it, good and bad, right? So reconciliation process. So many of us feel so hopeless, like it's never going to happen. But I want you to know that both parties, you and your children, can, and I believe will at some point, take that step to mend the relationship where you both can agree to have a conversation. And when that day comes and you both desire that and you're able to do that, you need to know how to do it, right? You need to be able to step out of that hopelessness. You need to already be out of that stage, right? Because if you're not, you're going to be going back in with the same reactions, the same maybe trauma, the same sometimes sour thoughts or sour feelings about because you had been hurt by your child or someone else, and it's just kind of carrying over in your life. So I want you to be able to prioritize your own self-being and well-being, because you need to be ready for that. You need to have the hope that is going to happen. And like I had shared with you many times, I realized that I had to be okay whether my daughter was okay or not. And when you get to that point, you're all in. You're all in. And if you need help getting to that point, I can help you with that as well. Because that is a place where you need to be so you can function in your own life. Because those boundaries that you have for yourself, for your children, anyone, other people in your life, you need boundaries around your life, because that is how you take care of your own mental and emotional health. Regardless of the outcome of the estrangement, you're having to take care of you, right? So I just want to encourage you to be able to express your feelings and thoughts calmly and respectfully when you're able to have that conversation with your children when that day comes, whether you're preparing for it. But before even that happens, I want you to remember that you need to find a way to get your hope back. I want to leave this on a positive note, because I want you to realize the importance of finding your own hope in this world despite being a mom. You're more than a mom, right? You are a woman, you might be a wife, you're a friend, you're all of these other things in this world as well. And that will come back on its own. I really do believe that. And I have a lot of hope, and a lot of the moms that I deal, are able to deal in my group coaching or one-on-one. I always tell them I have enough hope for both of us, because there's days where they don't have the hope and there's days that they do. But I do want to remind you that every single family is different. Every situation is unique. There is no one-size-fits-all solution. You need to trust your instincts, and you need to take care of you. And I can't wait to see you in the next video, and hopefully on a discovery call. See you soon.